Welcome to another edition of Web Chats. I'm Sabrina Storm. Joining me in studio today is Warden David Mayberry. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Glad to be here.
We've got lots to talk about.
Yep.
Let's first get to Ontario Municipality Greenhouse Gas Emission Challenge Fund that's up for approval by Council.
Okay, so Council got a report for the Greenhouse Gas Challenge Fund from the province, and basically we have put together a plan. The application has to be in by the 14th of November, so we've been working hard at getting a plan together, looking for some funding for a number of projects that the county will want to do over the next year or so. And the projects vary greatly, from things like reducing our emissions through vehicles to improving the efficiency, the energy efficiency of our buildings, either through insulation or just the electricity we use, to trying to produce some of our own power from renewable resources to operate things like the Woodstock water plant. So a lot of, or wastewater plant, sorry. So a lot of interesting things in that. Council, reviews the plan and decides whether they think it's an appropriate plan. And so we apply to the province for funding. And then we hope, and because of a lot of the work we've done over the last year, we're in a much better position than I think a lot of municipalities, because we have a lot of the sort of the background work done on what is the energy we've been using and how much greenhouse gases have we been producing.
Mm-hmm. And there is a rather large prize purse really that comes with this. It's $10 million.
Well, there is up to $10 million for any one project. The problem is that there's only $100 million for the whole province, but it will be those who've kind of done their homework first, that in this first round will have the greatest chance. And I think the fact that Oxford has been fairly proactive, to me, would be a sign that we should be, in one of the early deliverables for that funding. And so we'll look forward. We should know in the first quarter of 2018 whether we were successful or not.
All right, let's switch gears from greenhouse gases to homelessness. And there was a delegation recently. Your comments about that?
Well, I think over the last month or so, there's been a renewed interest and concern about homelessness, and we know that in the county we don't have enough social housing social housing units, and even though we're building new every year, or working in partnership to build new every year, we're nowhere close to where we need to be. And so the idea of homelessness and providing better housing for people has been with Council for a long time. And so there is a group came forward from Community Health Centre and from, in fact, from Future Oxford as well, as asking us to sort of do a better job on that. I expect at the next council meeting we may have further information and a request from Council to make a larger commitment towards improving the housing situation for our residents.
It is that time of year to talk budget.
Always.
Yes. So your thoughts on the upcoming budget proposals?
Well, I think, first of all, I like budgets. I like doing budgeting. I like the whole process. And budgeting is really about setting what are the priorities for the community. So that's kind of the narrative of the budget. What are the things that we believe we need to fix, or we need to improve, or we need to do new? And then how much is that going to cost? And then the role for Council, after they sort of set the high-level objectives, staff bring forward sort of responses to that, and then Council has to decide, so which of those things are we actually going to do this year, and which do we either have to delay or we don't agree with, and we're not going to do. So that's really the budget process. So on Wednesday we went through the whole budget, some 370 pages, I think, and kind of at a high level. So Council had sort of the big picture, and then in December we have a couple of meetings that will work on the budget, where we'll actually narrow it down to, what's in, what's out, how are we going to fund these projects? Is it through taxes, or is it through reserves or user fees or whatever? And that's sort of the kind of the nuts and bolts, or the nitty gritty of it. But at the high level, it's looking at what do we need to serve the needs of the people of Oxford County.
All right, and lastly, comments from the county about Remembrance Day. We're doing a very small part here by wearing our poppies, but I know you've got a message for everyone.
Thanks, Sabrina. Certainly, this Saturday is Remembrance Day, and I would encourage everyone to go out. There is a number of ceremonies around the county at a number of communities, at all of the legions, and I would encourage people to attend to remember the sacrifice that people have made in years gone by, but even in more recent years, the people that have served our country by giving of themselves and in sometimes suffering the ultimate price, and at other times simply suffering from the kind of mental and emotional anguish that they faced. So I would encourage people to remember that and to be thankful for the quality and the life that we have here in Ontario and Canada and Oxford, and to be thankful for that. And part of being thankful is remembering those who helped make sure that we maintain it.
Thank you for your message. My guest in studio today, Warden David Maybury. Join us for another edition of Web Chats with the Warden. I'm Sabrina Storm. We'll see you next time. Awesome.